places, and suppose you get all this good money. But what do you give up to get it? When you've got department heads around here that are much more qualified to understand what these people are talking about, delegate. Send these people that have more qualifications than any councilman to these meetings and to bring this information back and use it correctly. Not to say, I got this or I got that. That's it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dallas Joe, and I just came from the Terrell office over there, and they were telling me that you guys waived the Terrell fees and the Indian preference, and that Terrell can't do their job. There's a feed store going on in Omak. I don't see no Indians working there. I don't see no Indians. There's 4 Indians that working down at Bridgeport at the fish hatchery down there. I mean, you guys are talking about suicide and all that stuff. That's where it all starts, with no jobs. I mean, how can these kids get the tools to go out there in the real world if they can't get a start here? The door's shut on them right here. I mean, it's sickening that you can go over there and they say they can't leave their office. Why do we have Terrell then? I mean, that's just another...
Exactly, that's a non-union job down there. You can put a monkey on a...
Yeah, I'm a union carpenter too.
Why did tribal preference get done away with?
And that's a $45 million project, and that's $2 million. At 5% of that, that's $2 million that could have went to help apprenticeships, train our young.
Exactly.
Why is that, though?
Ain't nothing, you know. You waive fees, and Indian preference, there's no Indians working, and you wonder why people get upset.
But why is that?
No, I just think we need to bring people, together to explain that to you. Here's probably not the forum, but I think, we're talking about those, having the other meetings and bringing in people that we can really explain that to you. Because I'll tell you honestly, that was never done, and I work for planning, and I'm not a part of the council or administration or anybody. But what I wanted to say is, you guys got to applaud yourself that you've made changes and you don't even know it.
Oh yeah.
You know what Vic talked about? He's old school. But he was around when we got together like this. Or I didn't, but they did, and nothing happened. My mother in the 70s, when she started the reform, and my uncle was telling me he was a chief of police, and he tried to go to the meetings. They threatened his job, and even my mom, being a councilman, couldn't protect him. And 2 weeks ago, he told us, he said, it's bullshit. You guys are just. You're going to be up there screaming at each other, and nothing's going to be done. And we kept telling Uncle, no, gosh, we go every Friday. I have to tell you, we go every Friday, and we meet my uncle. We're doing some jobs, and that's why I'm unable to attend the meetings, but I'm there with my wife, the Spirit. I hope she realizes that. And we cure the world when they're on Friday nights. And then when we go home, everything falls through again. But last Friday, I went there, and we talked. And he says, Smoker, he says, I'm going to come to the meeting. Before that, he was bashing us, saying, you guys are never going to get together, and he's hearing about the meetings. He says, God, I hear about this districtitis, but I hear people from Inchlim coming to Keller, Inchlim coming to Nespelem, Omak, people from Spokane. He says, God, I hear nothing but good things. He says, you know what? I believe you guys are doing the right thing. You see the young people here. That's our future. I wish my mom would have brought me to some of these meetings. Maybe I would have been a little bit better person at that time. But I just think you guys got to realize, you got to give yourself, applaud yourself and pat yourself on the back for the things that you guys have accomplished. You don't even know you're doing it. You're bringing people together, and you're doing it respectfully. That's really the key. You do it with your heart, and you're teaching an old dog new tricks.
Well said.
Kind of to catch up a little bit on that, I have been earlier this year. I did try to get support in actually getting a union apprenticeship here. I had it on the ground. There was a union training over here that actually was a formal union training by an actual union company, or actually the union was here. As far as it only made I only made it as far as I tried getting some support in council, but when the dollar gets waved out there in the table, it comes down to either union or non-union, and I personally, I'm from the union. I respect I think they do a better. They're the only ones that can give you the certification, to become a lineman, to become an electrician, or an actual certified carpenter, or anything like that. And again, it starts with give something else for our kids to go to besides drugs and alcohol. Towards whatever, they could be, if they don't go to college, they don't go to the military, at least they can, go to the union and get a job,
Another question I got too is when you guys did your contract with Graham, why did you guys get an apprenticeship going with him or get for upper management? I mean, you just give him, let Graham run amok.
Well, that's a from what
It's
I'm
supposed to be a
understanding,
joint venture.
it's that dollar thing again. It's
Well,
that-
the dollar deal.
I can answer your question because I sit in on some of the meetings at closed door. What happened there,
Why does he get to
Was-
sit on closed door meetings?
we lost our bonding. So therefore, when you lose your bonding, then you have people sitting on our side that can't get bonded. Then we can't do things because you have to be certified there, and you know that because you're in the construction. So what happened there is when we lose that, then we lose a lot of other things along with it. And what happened down also, Chief Joe, what's going on down there now, right now, is we should have had a committee went down there as a committee, not just certain department go down doing their own damn thing. So you will go down to committee, and then you make your claims in your pre-contract meeting, and those are established through the whole contract then.
Isn't that what
And they
Carol's
didn't do
supposed to do? Isn't
Yeah.
Carol our committee that
They
they're
just
supposed to
did it.
go down there, but they can't go down there if council refuses them to leave their office.
Well-
I agree with Dallas. The Indian preference was waived down there, and so was the tariff fees. And you're sitting there. And,
That's what I tried to
no,
tell
no, no,
you.
no. I went down and tried to get a job on there, okay? And this was told in my
No, I'm
face.
just saying they shouldn't
No,
have
no,
done
no,
that to
no.
you.
This is a $45 million project. Indian preference was waived on it.
So it's
There's a
trophies.
vote out there, and I want to ask these two men here in front of everyone if they voted on it and what they voted. Let's get it out in the open.
I'll give my idea on that because I ain't gonna say I have an opinion because I have ideas and they can be changed. But I was working on the dance harbors and I was asked Joe Pion same question. How much dollars were we supposed to get on the tariff fees? Because the tariff fees, some of those tariff fees have been utilized to build arbors, and I was a project manager of that. So I had to identify what those were. I just got a memo, not an email from about a week ago from Joe Pion. Right now the tribe's been paid. They're going to be 1.6 million is coming in. They're already been paid 385,000, so it's almost 2 million they'll get back from tariff fees. They never waived the fees. Never waived fees. What you're hearing is those guys, for not doing their job, the guys from tariff, this is my idea again. Those guys weren't doing their job. They were driving around, parking in front of places. Nothing was getting done. What happened to them? They said only ones that can go down is the ones who were directed to be down there. That's just what I was told. I don't know what happened, but I know for a fact we didn't waive those tariff fees.
Well, besides the tariff fees, let's talk Indian preference. I mean, how many Indians? Some of us are here because we don't have a job down there.
And I think
I'm here
those
today
guys
because
should
I
do
don't
it.
have a job down there. I got a $60,000 truck sitting in my yard. I can't put to work, and I sit there all summer, every single day during the summer. I watch all these white trucks go by my house. On 155, I probably see 100 trucks go by a day almost. Why isn't my truck being represented out there? Why does Basin own their own pit down there on our reservation? Why aren't we running our own asphalt? We got our own contractors that are certified that can take care of themselves. I got a backhoe, I've got 2 plow trucks, I've got a belly dump, I've got a water truck, all that shit's sitting. But I got white guys down there working. My family's
I
going
agree.
without money.
I agree.
You know, and like I said, did they vote on this? I was told at the district meeting that there's a vote when it comes to waiving Indian preference. Why would you ever waive Indian preference? Tell me that. I mean, we're the people. We're the people. Why would you ever waive
The
it?
only time I've ever seen them waive Indian preference if it was tribal job.
I went through the Terrell process, Smoker. I turned in my grievance. I couldn't get on the job.
Yep.
Terrell, Jeff Miller, our new hired so-called whatever we got there, responded to it and said they didn't have to subcontract out. This is a federal job. How can they not have to subcontract out to our own people?
When I got the thing from Joe, it was $45 million project, and I estimated 5% of that. And he says, well, no, you can't do that. He says, because you can only come up with about 37 million because the rest of it's going to tribal contractors. So I was only used a figure of 37 million for tariff fees, which was about 1.8 million. And when I started itemizing the arbor projects, I had to come within that 1.7 million. And that's why I know that. And like you said, even like my son Brandon, he was signing in, he was calling in every day for a job. This is before he got the job working down there. He was calling up every day, and one day he decided to go over there. And he was looking at the call-in sheet, and he was going, and I mentioned this to Jeff. He looked at the call-in sheet, and not one time did they put his name down.
Wow.
Not one time when he called in did they put his name down. I said, how many does that happen? How many people is that happening to?
Lots.
You know? That's ridiculous. That means they're not doing their job.
Well, their words to me, and this is following up on my grievance. Like I said, I followed a grievance. I was denied. I went through the appeal process. I was told again they did not have to subcontract out. There was no explanation on that. The other thing they said was they called me once. And then the other thing was I didn't have an application down there. Well, I thought us as tribal contractors, isn't Terrell set in place for us to put our tribal applications there, to give our updates? They send us notices if we're not in compliance, and we give all of our updates. So once we do that, when these big contractors come here, the first thing they're supposed to do before they even step foot on a job is see if we have certified tribal members. That doesn't happen. You know, listen to me, I'm chasing jobs. I'm sitting there by the 3rd or 4th day on all these tribal contracting jobs, and somebody calls me and says, hey Benny, how come your truck's not over there? We got 4 white trucks. I don't know. Why am I sitting here?
Ask Brandon and Durant, or Eric, about one day I sent him to Chicago. I sent him on my own dime.
Well, I mean,
they were supposed to follow an application process to Terrell. I know. I'm just saying that I think that's our problem over there.
Well, they're told me. Okay, they might follow up on it. They told me they were specifically told by Ernie Williams, drove over there, went right to all their faces and said, you guys do not leave this office. You get no fuel cards. You get no keys. Do not be on site. I heard Harry Bazette went there, tried to get on site. They told him he had to leave. They told him he had no rights to be there. Why do we have Title 10? What is Title 10 for?
Can I say something?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying there's a lot of issues that I have, and I don't think a lot of times it's not here.
I just want to summarize really quick because Benny is bringing up a very, very important, Dallas, you guys are bringing up a really important issue, and I know that in the planning, this group that's having this now, it's going to be an all-district meeting that's going to be coming forward. They're going to have areas of issues, hot issues that need to be addressed.
We'll invite Terrell.
One of the big issues we know, we're not just talking about council, reform for council, we're talking political reform, we're talking policy reform. If anybody takes a look at the organizational chart, they see that Terrell falls underneath council. It should not fall underneath council.
For sure.
It's one of the biggest issues that, you know, is there. The police should not fall underneath council. So there's some big issues about the whole political reform. Courts. So the question here is, or maybe it's not a question, it's basically a statement, is thank you, Ricky, for coming out, and Andy for coming out here. And people are cold, and I think people were heard, but please start thinking about ways that we can get this word out for the next all reservation-wide meeting so we can address key issues. Those issues need to be addressed. We can't sit, because coming and talking to individual council about it again, I think it's important, but I don't think that we're going to be able to get anything done today. And I will ask this one thing. Please stop the rumors and gossip. Cease the rumors and gossip that is happening inside those chambers, that they're sitting in there now gossiping. I've watched them go up there and sit there with their little pads writing people's names down. It's unfortunate that you can see through the reflection. And we are not suspicious people. We are good people. We are good people, so that's all.
And please, Ann has a sign-in sheet. If we do not have your number, your email address, your phone address, we cannot get a hold of you. So sign in.
And
Sure.
Come
and hold it. I'm shaking too bad.
everybody pray for Ricky because he's in a very tough position right now. He will be undermined. He will be undermined. So pray for him.
Yeah. Well, you know who's the shit.